Wow, even up to $170 is broken. 3080 Ti. It's not even in the title, it just says graphic card. $190. Member since November 2021. Definitely legit. This was in 2019. Mercari, why are you showing me stuff that has been sold 2 years ago? I can understand if it was like within the last month or two, but geez. I'm on the hunt for a graphics card. Earlier this week I had a stream where the goal was to buy parts for a $500 to $550 gaming PC. Everything had to be bought online so that it's representative of a build that anyone in the US could have bought no matter where they lived and have it all shipped to them. Most of the build was actually very easy to find. The CPU, the motherboard, RAM, SSD, all of that was pretty readily available and I picked them up on the spot. But of course, what I spent the most time looking for was the graphics card. I budgeted up to $250 for the card and I came across a GTX 980 for $220 on eBay, and this was pretty much the only thing I could find. The listing ended up selling before I could make my decision, which I was ready to buy it a few hours after the stream. Now I'm on a mission to find a similar or better deal. Otherwise, I'm gonna hate myself for letting that one slip through. But yeah, let's get to it. So whenever I hunt for used parts online, I like to start with eBay because it has the widest supply and the highest reach in terms of people, both sellers and buyers. I like to think of eBay as a good starting reference, but a last resort if you have exhausted all other options. So there's actually a lot of graphics cards that will pair well with the CPU that I chose for this build, which is gonna be the Intel 10100F. And I'll list them all on the screen now. These should all fall within that $250 budget that I've set aside for the graphics card. Unfortunately on eBay, there's no good way to filter out those graphics cards that I just showed, because if we do a quick search for graphics cards here, and there's gonna be a ton of them. If we go over to the filters, if we wanted to filter by the ones that I just showed on the list, just take a look at how many cards you have to filter through and try to, you know, check off. So what I like to do is choose the top 3 or 4 cards that I think will be the best deals I can get and just do individual searches for them instead of trying to select so many from this list here. For the $250 mark, I think the best card that we can get is going to be the GTX 980, which is what I originally was searching for. We're going to see a lot of cheap listings and it's going to be for parts only. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of times when you see these low prices, it's not working and they're just selling it so people can either try to repair it themselves or salvage some, like the cooler or something like that. So we're going to have to keep on going because we're seeing a lot of parts only. I don't think we're going to see anything under $200, but we'll just keep skimming. Even up to $250, there's only, for a 980 Ti, there's parts only. The lowest one is going to be $230 with $25 shipping. So this is definitely above my budget, especially if we take into account tax. Yeah, we're not going to find any 980s. So if we could find a GTX 970, I think it would also work well with this build. These I would want to find for $200 or less. Refurbished for $216 from China. It's above the $200 that I was hoping for, and it's coming from China, so it would take too long. Dealing with returns too, if you're buying from overseas as opposed to domestic, that would be a big pain. So yeah, definitely trying to keep it to the States, which I could filter by, but I'm just gonna leave it off because there's not too many cards anyways. A lot of them do seem to be from China though. So all the cards in this performance range that could be around the same price would be the GTX 1060. And I'm not going to be looking at AMD cards. We can take a quick look later, but AMD cards are overly priced because of their mining capabilities right now, like the RX 400 and 500 series, so I don't have much faith there. Here's a 3GB 1060 from PNY. Bare description. Seller doesn't have too many ratings, but I would say this looks legit. This does have a buy it now with $20 shipping, so this would be $220. So this is why I really wish I got the GTX 980, because the performance would have been better than this for the same price, for $220. Yeah, 1060s, we're quickly shooting up to 250 already, so that's not going to be good. I would be willing to go down to 1050 Ti, not any lower than that though. I want it to be able to play 1080p pretty comfortably, even if it does mean setting it to like medium to medium low settings. And anything below 1050 Ti, I don't think will achieve that. So if we go to the 1050 Ti's, we are seeing a lot of fake cards. So these are all fake cards. We do have this MSI card, single fan for parts only, not working. Man, for 150, I would have thought that would have been a good deal, but yeah, parts only. And then we have these fake ones from China. The lowest price one, wow, even up to $170 is broken. This is similar to what I was seeing on stream earlier this week. Here we go. This is a new listing. For $150, $165 after shipping. This is from Michigan. This looks like a new seller with no ratings. Wow, I'm not sure if I would trust this. The issue is that I don't want to do these kind of risky deals because I have to wait for it to come, and when it doesn't come, I have to try to get my money back, and I just lose time. I want to buy something that I'm confident will come, because for me, I'm actually making this video, but for you, if you have more time, sure, you could go for riskier deals. I don't recommend it, but for me personally, I want to buy something that I'm confident that the seller will send it to me. And this listing, it's just a generic copy and paste description. I'm not seeing anything else here. And the seller has no ratings, brand new. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk that. So we're not finding any 1050 Ti's either. You can't even find a 1650 for less than 300 bucks, unless it's a 4 parts only broken one. 1660s are going for well above $350, so this is pretty bad. So this is all eBay, mind you. We'll check the other marketplaces, but we're not gonna have much luck, I don't think. And then we'll look for ARCs 480 and 580. 580, the lowest is 270. And there's not going to be much else, unfortunately. So that's eBay for you. Now we'll go to Facebook Marketplace. And I'll put in graphics card between 150 to 250 and just see what we can find here. So we have a GTX 970 for 180. It wasn't compatible with my PC, never used, but open. $200 or best offer. This actually wouldn't be a bad deal if it was real. I'm going to check on my personal browser so I don't dox myself to see if this is actually a legit seller. So the seller actually joined Facebook in 2013, so that gives me some confidence that this is a legit ad. It's coming from Brighton, Michigan, so he lowered it to $180 and it's $20 shipping. So I would buy it through Facebook, which does have a protection or buyer protection, so I'll keep that one on hand, but we'll keep on looking. We got a broken 1080 for the win for $200. Here's a $175 970. $30 shipping from New York, so that brings it up to more than the Strix, and I would rather take the Strix if anything because it's going to be the better card. Here's a 970 for $160. Depending on what the shipping costs are, this may be a good deal. Seller that joined in 2010 shipped for $10. Okay, this would be $170. It will be the cheapest one so far, so this is good. Now this is in the running for what I'm going to pick up. Yeah, I'm not seeing much else on here. There's just way too many cards. So I'm actually gonna look for the GTX 980 and 970 specifically to see if we can find anything that, if I sort by lowest price. I hate how I put in GTX 980 and there's everything but that popping up. So the filtering is either bad or all these people are just putting in a ton of keywords that are making this pop up. There's a 980 Ti for $225. You can't get it working. Right, okay, so for this 980 Ti for $225, nope. If it's not working, I'm not dealing with that. Good condition, can ship. Shipped for 20 bucks, so $220 for a 980. So this would be similar to the deal I found the other night that I let slip, but now I'm leaning more towards the GTX 970 for $170 shipped as opposed to this $220 980 because the 970 is going to give us pretty solid 1080p gaming performance. And how I'm looking at it in this current crappy market is buy a graphics card that you know is going to be temporary. All these prices suck, so try to spend as little as you can to get a system that can play at the levels that you are willing to put up with, which I think a 970 would, for the, you know, $500-ish price point we're going for, that is definitely within the expectations. I say spend as minimal as you can. It's a system that holds you over, and when you can actually get graphics cards for fair prices or for when the market returns, then you can go for a more long-term system. I think I'm going to pass on this, even though it's the same deal that I almost pulled the trigger on. I would rather go for the 970 for $170. And yeah, now we're getting into the $300 price range, so I think we've pretty much exhausted what we can find on Facebook Marketplace in terms of the graphics cards. I'm going to look at Offerup now. So we have a 2060 for $200 in New York. This has got to be fake, yeah. Hit me up at some phone number and member since 2021. So this is obviously too good to be true. 2060 for $200. Please do not fall for fake ads like that. If it's too good to be true, it likely is. Unless you're able to meet the person in person and pick it up and have it physically in your hands. But if it's with the shipping stuff, they're gonna take your money and run. We have a 1660 Super for $200. I think this is also fake too. There's like no description. R9 380s. I wish this was less. If this was like $100, I would pick it up. But for 150, I don't think it's worth it. But what do we have here? November 2021. So yeah, they're just putting whatever cards that they think people are looking for. This is, I'm thinking fake. If this, first of all, an A7 390 isn't a thing. I'm thinking they meant R9 390. So unfortunately, we can't go with that one. Offerup is not looking as good as Facebook Marketplace right now. What is this listing even? Really? 3080 Ti? It's not even in the title. It just says graphic card. $190. Sure. Member since November 2021. This month. Definitely legit. If anyone falls for these types of ads, I can't say I feel sorry for you. Please do not buy these ads, even though you know you have buyer protection, because you're just wasting your own time and you're wasting Offerup's time and money when they have to give you your money back after you get scammed from someone like this. Just avoid these, please. It doesn't matter if PayPal or whatever you're buying it through gives you your money back. You're encouraging people to continue doing these types of scams because it works when you take risks that are obviously fake like this. From John, member since November 2021, a 3080 for $250. Just don't do it, please. Yeah, it's looking like we're not finding anything on Offerup. And this is gonna change day by day. Tomorrow there could be better deals, or in a couple of days, or even in a week. So I would recommend you to look in your local market and not even deal with shipping, so yeah, you can save on the taxes. Because anytime I buy something that has to ship to me, I'm gonna have to pay taxes. Search your local area before resorting again to online, because you will be paying a premium for all those other fees. Yeah, this is gonna wrap it up for Offerup though. I'm not seeing anything that's really worth it. 1060 for 150 2 years ago. Yeah, that's the issue. We're getting everything I'm looking at now, because I was sorting by new. Everything is like a few years ago, and people just haven't removed their listings. So we're done with that. The last thing we're gonna look at is Mercari and see what they have. Yeah, people are selling like GTX 660s, which are old as balls by this point, for 150. So that's what we're dealing with. Why can I not see more of the text? Why do I have to click in to see what this power color card is? RX 550, nope. Alright, we're already reaching the $200 price point, and we're seeing 970s, which isn't gonna beat the Facebook Marketplace deal. Here's a 980 for $255. Yeah, so there's not much on Mercari. I'm doing a broad search for just graphics cards. I'm already seeing the cards that I want at too high of prices. The 980, the 780, these are already in the 250 price range, the 970. I'm going to look to see if there's any AMD cards, but I'm not thinking so. For parts, 480 right here. Everything sold 150, so there was at some point. Like, how old was this RX 580 4GB for $150? When was this? This was in 2019. Mercari, why are you showing me stuff that has been sold 2 years ago? I can understand if it was like within the last month or two, but geez, quit trying to make your listings look really good by showing me old crap that is not relevant, price-wise anyways. Yeah, looking at the 580s, there's nothing. So yeah, I think that basically decides it. So this is the card we are gonna go with. The EVGA GeForce GTX 970 SSD Gaming ACX 2.0, $160. And shipping is $10.80. So 170, we'll see what the taxes are. It's going to be closer to like 180 something. They are allowing it to be locally picked up in California, but of course I'm not going to be able to pick it up, so I'm going to do the shipping for 10 bucks. This person has a lot of ratings on Facebook Marketplace, 74, 4.5 stars, joined in 2010. I mean, this is as good as I can hope for. I'm actually happier now that I found this than if I were to pull the trigger on the GTX 980 for $220 the other night, because I would have also had to pay more tax on that. That would have been probably close to 250 bucks after tax. So this ends up working out to be $188, which isn't too bad. It's that tax that kind of kills it. It would have been nice to get it for yeah, that 170, but that tax kills you. All right, there we have it. the orders put through and I got the graphics card. As you can probably tell throughout this video, it does take some effort to find the deals, looking across multiple sources and doing a lot in terms of the manual filtering to find the cards that you want. If you put in the time, you should be able to find something reasonably fast. If you have yourself like 1 or 2 weeks to search, I'm sure you can find something within your price range for the performance you're looking for in this crazy market that we have. That's gonna wrap it up for this video though. I expect this build to be out in a few weeks because I still have to wait for all these parts to come in. Then I gotta assemble, get everything installed, benchmark it, record and edit the video and all that. So that pushes it a few weeks out. And also as a bonus to the end of this video, as some of you may know, I recently took a trip to New York with my wife. It was my first time ever on the East Coast and it was a really fun trip. I'll share some of the highlights, so hope you enjoy watching that and I'll see you in the next stream and or video.